Our next guest, Marcia Alinejad, is an Iranian journalist who has been in exile from Iran for 13 years, but she remains now a leader of the revolt against the Iranian dictatorship that has led to widespread protests over the death of Mahsa Amini, who was arrested by the morality police because they said her hijab did not cover every hair on her head. Iranian officials claim that the 22-year-old Mahsa Amini had a heart attack and died while in the custody of the morality police. We have seen what is happening in Iran, thanks largely to the Twitter feed of our next guest, who has been posting videos of the protests, including violent attacks on the protesters by police. In an interview with The New Yorker, Marcia Alinejad, quote, likened the hijab requirement to the Berlin Wall. If we bring it down, the entire system will collapse. Joining us now is Marcia Alinejad, Iranian-American journalist and activist. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Your comment in The New Yorker about the Berlin Wall is so striking because we watched on TV here in this country in 1989 when the wall collapsed. First, it was just one brick. Then it was a few more protesters. And we saw them each night, more and more people on that wall. And they brought it down. And 2 years later, the Soviet Union itself collapsed. Is that the point where we are now in Iranian history?
Exactly. Look, Iranian women inside the country leading a movement, leading a revolution right now, alongside men. And when I see that they're burning the headscarves, it just reminds me of the time when these women individually were protesting, but not feeling that empowered to take, in a large number. For 40 years, they've been fighting. They've been pushing back the boundaries, compulsory hijab laws, morality police. But right now, the brutal death of Mahsa Amini is becoming a turning point for Iranian women, and it is a tipping point for the Islamic Republic. Look, Islamic Republic has 3 pillars: death to America, death to Israel, and hijab. As soon as the Islamic Republic took over, they actually forced women to wear hijab because this is a tool for Iranian regime to control the whole society through women. So that is why they're really scared, because they know that if women get successful to tear this wall down, then the Islamic Republic won't exist.
Explain how this headscarf for women and it being mandatory by law controls more than just the physical appearance of women. What effect does it have on men?
Look, first of all, this is an insult to men. Basically, the Islamic regime, Taliban, they say that if I don't cover my hair, you cannot control yourself. And basically, they say that I deserve to be raped, to be harassed, to be sexually harassed in public if I don't cover myself. You know, you have Me Too movement here in America, but we cannot have Me Too movement in Iran, because if we are being harassed or raped, the law in Iran put the blame on us. So right now, Iranian people are not just fighting against compulsory hijab. They're clearly saying that we want an end to a gender apartheid regime. Why? Because from the age of 7, girls won't be allowed to go to school. Can you believe that? If they don't cover themselves, they won't be able to get an education. I remember that. I was a parliamentary journalist criticizing the politicians, the mullahs, but the main thing that I was hearing from them, it was not about my political views or my questions. They were saying that first cover yourself properly and then ask questions. This expression is familiar for Iranian. It means that if you don't cover yourself properly, then you will get beaten up by morality police, bunch of police walking around telling you that, okay, a little bit of your hair is shown. So, and then if you don't cover yourself, you receive lashes. You go to jail. You won't be able to get a job. You won't be able to exist, to live in your own country. So you see, That is why I'm saying that this is a revolution, not only in Iran. I'm sure that women in Afghanistan will be empowered. Women around the world will be empowered, because Iranian women are trying to say that the rest of the world, that when the Western women say, my body, my choice, they have to listen to us as well. When we say our body, our choice in the Middle East, you have to care about this and show solidarity and sisterhood.
So the accusation by the morality police against Mahsa was that she was not wearing the headscarf properly. It wasn't covering every hair on her head. She is dead now because of that intervention by those police. When we see the videos of these protesting women not wearing the scarf at all and waving it around, what chances are they taking with their lives in this protest?
That's a very good question. Guns and bullets. They're facing guns and bullets right now. You know how many people got killed? I mean, the numbers that media says it's 70 people got killed, but I am 100% sure that the numbers are much more than 50 people, because the Iranian regime cut down the internet. They don't want the rest of the world to see the level of brutality. They don't want the rest of the world to understand that women in 21st century getting killed just because of showing their hair or chanting that we want to have a normal regime. We want to have dignity and freedom. This is the reality in Iran. And what breaks my heart, at the same time, we see that, U.S. government, the Western government, they show solidarity, they condemn the crackdown, but at the same time, they try to get a deal, nuclear deal with the same murderers, giving them billions of dollars. And that empowers the regime to kill more people. Yes, get back to your question. These women in the streets right now are getting killed every day. After 11 nights, again, Iranian women and Iranian men, shoulder to shoulder, they are in the streets right now that I'm talking to you, because they say enough is enough. We want an end to this regime.
Secretary of State Blinken today announced a couple of things. One, sanctioning the morality police, specifically individuals. Also, an attempt to help provide electronic communications within Iran among the protesters, a tech intervention. We really need you to monitor that for us, and please come back and tell us whether that help on electronic communication in Iran is actually working, whether what the Secretary announced today is helping. Marcia Alinejad, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thank you for your bravery confronting these issues. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me and giving voice to Iranians.